tough meat.
First up, the grand final replay, a day for big men and big marks. There's one from Paul Salmon. Here's another. And if he could do it, so too could Madden.
What a game this fella's playing today. Towards the pocket.
Once.
Madden's got his name on that one.
And twice.
Had a great game, Brett. Yes.
But here's probably the mark of the day out at Windy Hill yesterday.
I think he's grabbed this mark. I think he's going to pay it. What about that for a mark?
If it was a day for big marks, it was also a day for big goals. Firstly, Peter Knights.
Oh, that's a beautiful kick by Knights. Kick one
Now
goal.
Terry Danaher.
Should be able to just make the distance from there, which he will do. The accuracy is a gem as well. Got it.
Chris Langford swung the game the Hawks' way.
There's the kick by Langford. That's not a bad sort of a kick. Oh, that's a goal. What a long kick by Langford. Certainly.
And Dermot Brereton returned to his best. All of these goals coming in the third term at Windy Hill yesterday.
It's a long kick. I think it might be a goal. It is a goal.
And then there were the close goals. Did this one from Langford go through for 6 points?
Shot at goal, but the wind's caught it, brought it back for one. No, it's not a goal. It flew around. Well, hey, golly, I thought that was going through for a point. Look, a point from here.
Well, there are a few big knocks too. Danaher and Wallace.
Considerably, if we saw.
Neagle and Knights. The high-flying Knights comes down hard on this occasion.
McCarthy tries to pick it up.
McCarthy and Neagle, a little nudge. And some outstanding acting. Matthews, his first kick, 28 minutes into the first term.
What's he done with it? He's put it through for a goal.
A little bit later, Lethal's at it again.
It's a goal. That's Matthews at his best. Matthews couldn't hold it.
The interchange is made with Langford coming on. And this was a match-winning performance with goals like this one.
And I think he's put it in for a goal. He has. Forward, trying to find Curran.
He snaps again for his fourth.
High shot, just about there. And a goal. 4 goals to Langford since he came on.
But the Bombers would not give up. Danaher to Neagle.
But finally, Neagle breaking clear to centre half forward. A long kick at the goals, looking for Big Salmon. Not a bad sort of a kick. It's a goal. That's a magnificent goal.
At VFL Park, it was a day of forwards. At one end, we had Simon Beasley.
Punched away by hands.
At the other end, Jacko.
Snaps towards goal. What a kick! And it's a great goal to Jacko.
And you said he didn't have pace.
Pedo punt kick.
Watch the tap this time. Down to Bright, roving well.
Terry Bright. Bright goes towards goal and brings up his third. 40-point
But
lead.
Jacko enjoyed the snapshots yesterday.
Snaps towards goal. Great goal by Jackson.
While he was performing at one end, Simon Beasley was giving us almost a one-man show at the other end.
Down, Beasley's in position to take the mark and does that.
At one stage, the Footscray scoreboard read 7 goals, and Beasley's tally at that stage was 7 goals.
Beasley going back into the pocket and he takes it. This is what they want, just a couple of quick ones. Short, the bounce may favour Beasley.
Looks like goal number 7.
And he continues to.
He's looking for
At the other end, Jackson onto drum, fresh man onto the ground, and a goal for the Cats.
No mistake. Jackson again playing a part in that goal.
Richmond, North Melbourne. Now here's the clash of heads, and the game is over for Gary Dempsey. Ooh. As Stephen Phillips reported earlier, Gary spent the night in hospital. He's been operated on for fractured cheekbone and will be back with us in a couple of weeks. But back to the action. Roach. Now Brian Taylor, who had an indifferent day, shows great agility for a big man around the boundary line and goals. To Carlton and Fitzroy now. Murphy. And Des English can't believe it. Receiving the hand pass and going into goal. A good team effort now from the Blues as Ralph gives it across to Meldrum, who finds Glascott, and Madden just waits in the square. St Kilda Collingwood at Victoria Park. Barham slides through for a close one.
1 point for mine. No, the umpires paid it, so I didn't really think that the...
And both sides in trouble as down they go, and here comes Dacos.
Oh, he's in trouble, I think, Dacos.
I would think so.
And eventually they sorted themselves out. Shaw recovers. You can't keep a good magpie down, they say. And he goals.
Now it's Tony Shaw.
Shaw again. This time to Barham.
He ducks around. Oh, clever play as he hooks it back to the boundary.
Now watch
line.
Miles come from nowhere. On the left of your screen, he pounces and goals. But our winner today
Collingwood goal coming up.
in the footy highlights is none other than Simon Beasley for his outstanding performance, kicking, as I said, 8 goals.
Muffler shots.
Action aplenty at VFL Park yesterday. First up, the new number 25 for Geelong, Jacko.
That's a great goal to Jacko.
And he does it again. Another snap.
Snaps towards goal. Great goal by Jackson. His hand.
Now look at David O'Keefe for the Cats.
Long floating kick from behind. A great mark almost to O'Keefe.
Good recovery.
Swings onto the left foot. Goes towards goal. Great goal.
Forward zone.
For Hawthorn,
players jostling
Lee
for
Matthews,
position.
always
Matthews
dangerous in front of
spinning
goal.
out the back now. He's clear. A snap at goal. What's he done with it? He's put it through.
Circle.
His teammate, Russell Green.
They'd be better advised for the long kick. Green can do that. A shot at goal by Russell Green is a beauty, and that's a goal.
Currently flying.
Chris Langford of Hawthorn.
There's a chance now for Langford, a running shot at goal. But the wind's caught it, brought it back for one. No, it's not a goal. It flew around.
Shrugs one tackle.
Dermot Brereton back in the thick of things after a groin injury.
Steadies and a goal. Well played.
Matthews
Langford turned in a match-winning performance. The number 28 for the Hawks. Here he is again.
A left foot snap at the goals. And I think he's put it in for a goal. He has.
Forward.
And again.
Current. Langford can sew it up. High shot, just about there. And a goal.
Still at Windy Hill, Merv Nagel.
There, but finally, Nagel breaking clear to centre half forward. A long kick at the goals, looking for Big Salmon. Got a bad sort of a kick. It's a goal. That's a magnificent goal.
Pass coming to Woodall.
Out to Collingwood. First up, Tony Shaw.
Tony Shaw, he's got it. He snaps at the goals and he's put it through. A great goal to Tony Shaw.
His teammate, Peter Dacos.
Looking attempt picked up by Dacos. What a goal! What a goal by Dacos!
Fitzroy's master blaster, Michael Conlon. And wearing the number 1 Guernsey for the Roys is Paul Roos. Soccer style. Now Wayne Johnston, a set shot on the boundary line and a beautiful kick. And if he can do it, so too can Fitzroy's Bernie Quinlan. And Richmond's Brian Taylor. Moved well there for a big man. Steadies and shoots truly. For North Melbourne now, Anthony Fury. Back again to Brian Taylor, receiving and snapping over the shoulder. Good interception by Roach with that handball. And finishing once again with Brian Taylor. He finished the day with 6 goals. Some good goals there, and Bob Davis heading our panel. What do you think, Bob?
Well, I think I'd better get the master of goal kickers. Kevin, what do you think about those? I mean, you would have liked to kick all of them, wouldn't
Well,
you?
I thought Peter Dacos' goal was a magnificent one on the boundary line. Left foot, really drilled that one. I like Michael Roach's goal there too, because he actually made a goal out of nothing, and that was good play. But I think Langford's goal, that second goal he kicked, was a ripper on the boundary line, angled the ball correctly, chipped it through. That'd get my choice, Bob.
And what about you, King of full forwards?
Well,
now that Wadey's not here.
yeah, I like the set shots of Wayne Johnston and Quinlan, and I think it's good for young players if they want to emulate players, Bob, to watch blokes like Quinlan and Johnston. Their disposal, it is absolutely magnificent. I agree with Kevin about Dacos. I admired Brian Taylor's goal there when he ran out and picked it up, had a look for a hand pass, came back around David Dench, Bob, and then lined up the goals. And he's got more agility than people think, Brian Taylor. He's a very, very good full forward. But I go with Kevin there. The second goal of Chris Langford as he ran towards the boundary line.
Well, it was very interesting that both Johnson and Quinlan kicked the ball from the same position, but one was a left foot and one was a right-footed kick, and they still managed to put them straight through.
Those sort of blokes, it doesn't matter where you put them, Bob. They'll kick them from anywhere.
All right, well, actually, the goal of the day yesterday was kicked by Chris Langford, the second kick that he had. He continues to play very well with those goals yesterday, but he's going to get $100 from yesterday for his goal of the day, and of course he goes into the collection of goals to win $5,000 from the Midas Goal of the Year. And here we see Langford now. You can see that he's steadied, put a little bit of a twist on the ball, hasn't he, Kevin?
A Premiership captain and coach who's broken more than the big stories over the last 50 years. His sparring partner from Collingwood, the game's only multimedia mega rover, a 250-game veteran and Premiership captain, Lou Richards. He was christened Peter Patrick Pius Paul, but to all he's Crackers Keenan. His career spanned 213 games with Melbourne, North and Essendon, and can well have been more, but the odd rush of blood. Over 237 games, the Swans' longest-serving captain, Bobby Skilton, earned the respect of both friends and foe with his skill and courage. He backs his judgment with 3 Brownlow medals. In 193 games, Peter McKenna kicked his way into the history books with 873 goals, the 4th largest tally ever. He was renowned for his accuracy, a boast that still applies. From vigorous pupil to master ruckman, that was the path Sam Newman took over 303 games with Geelong. The white boots and blonde tips added colour to one of the most competitive big men in the game. The Geelong flyer, Bob Davis, helped change the face of football as Premiership coach of the Cats after a brilliant career that saw him play 188 games and win all Australian selection. And in 1984, we introduced the longest-serving player in league history, Richmond's 403-game champ, Kevin Bartlett, a man more than...
Down at VFL Park, Steve Reynolson.
Reynolson, I should say.
Staying with the Cats, Malcolm Reid.
Coming across the front of Beasley, a nice mark to Malcolm Reid.
Centre wing.
To Hawthorn now, Dermot Brereton.
Yes, good mark in front of Duckworth.
Here's his teammate Peter Curran.
Curran's the flyer from the mark.
Kick back towards...
Now Paul Salmon.
Maybe too long. Oh, I think he's grabbed this mark. I think he's going to pay it.
Make it clear.
Chris Mew for Hawthorn.
Forward looking for Salmon. No mark. Oh, yes, it is. And it grabbed a Mew. It is.
Into the half-forward zone.
To Victoria Park now, Tony Lockett pulling it in with the one hand for St Kilda. Greg Phillips getting the ride for Collingwood.
Beautiful mark to Greg Phillips. Forward flank, but won't get into position. Oh.
Andrew Cross, St Kilda.
Good mark, that one. For short towards
Ricky Barham, another one-hander.
Good mark to Ricky Barham. Good kick.
Collingwood skipper Mark Williams.
Good mark.
His teammate David Cloak.
Out they come. Cloak flies, and he's taken a screamer over the top of Stephen Perry.
To Carlton, Fraser Murphy. His teammate David Honeybun. While for Fitzroy, Gary Pert was in the action yesterday with a high fly. Carlton recruit Warren Ralph. Juggling one-hander. Phil Cracker also. And completing the marks, Brian Taylor. To our panel, Bob Davis.
All right, Jack, now you were a high flyer. What about those?
I was a low high flyer, but I like
a low high flyer.
Yeah, I've always solid though. Always never missed any.
One grab, Jack.
One grab.
Yes, but back to that marking again. Curran. That'll do me. I won't give any more.
No more. That was
Beautiful,
sufficient.
solid mark. Yes, he had no hope of dropping it. It just went after it and he owned it.
Right. What about you, Kevin?
Well, I think it's a toss-up, Bob, between Curran. I liked his in the middle of the pack there, one grab. And Salmon's mark was very courageous, running back towards goals.
Yes.
But I'll give it to Curran because he was right in the middle of the pack under a fair bit of pressure too.
Well, I thought there were some magnificent one-handed marks. Lockett and Cracker took some great marks there, didn't they?
Lockett was a good mark.
But certainly the mark yesterday was Curran. And he wins the $100 as the Nissan mark of the day. And we'll see it in replay here now. He's in between, jammed in there, Jack. But he's got a good lift up. His hands are outstretched. Big...
Hello and welcome to the winners. Well, it's the first time for me this season. I was away last week covering the King's Cup rowing in Tasmania. Well, it's good to have our viewers back in Queensland and New South Wales, and we hope you all enjoy our coverage of VFL football this season. Well, round 2 this week, and we were at 2 matches involving winning teams from last week. In the program, the replay of last year's grand final between Essendon and Hawthorn, and the Bombers have found a youngster to revive the days of John Coleman. Paul Salmon gives a thrilling display of high marking. And Geelong against Footscray. Mark Jackson now at his 4th VFL club. The Clown Prince is drawing them in at Geelong and playing good football too. And a further highlight, we speak to last year's Premiership captain Lee Matthews, the man with the task of leading Hawthorn to successive premierships, something which the Hawks have never done before. Well, we start with the rematch of last year's grand finalists. On the last Saturday of September last year, it was a mismatch. Hawthorn beat Essendon by 83 points, a record grand final margin. Well, the soul-searching at Essendon in the off-season promised a stiffer contest this time, with revenge being the main motivation after that humiliation. At half-time, Essendon led by 10 points. The game was hard, but had no spite, as some thought it might. We pick it up 9 minutes into the third quarter, and with me, Doug Hayward, and our new commentator, dual Premiership captain, Mike Fitzpatrick.
My word, that was quick by Curran.
I think that was a very poor decision by the umpire. Bahagia certainly ducked his head and didn't deserve the free kick.
Ezard out wide to Bradbury. Support from Danaher. Bradbury's kick long in the direction of Merritt. Ball still in play. Chance for Schwab. Tackled by Danaher, but play on. Away goes Polkinghorne. Inboard to Curran. Shrugs off Bradbury, short passes, and wide out on the wing, Brereton.
Oh, word, Curran's a long way out of position. He's down at centre-half back as he took that. Oh, an awkward part to Ayres. Cleverly out to Wallace's great football. Wallace is in there, long one to Green. Green kicks long and sends a beautiful kick goalward and rams it.
Sorry, Hawthorn's approach to the goal is far quicker.
Madden wins to Merritt. Couldn't get the handball clear. The umpire said he threw it. O'Halloran's free.
Oh, that looked tough too.
Pops it over the top. Danger. McCarthy. Crash. Hawker arriving late. McCarthy finds Schwab. Had to stretch for it. He's in trouble. Gets clear. Short passing, and gee, they're getting clear now, Hawthorn, and there's John Kennedy, a defender, way up on the forward line.
They're not really, well, they're making progress slowly at the moment, a bit zigzaggy. Schwab lost a great opportunity to hand pass quickly, but Kennedy will put this one right to the teeth of goal. Simon Madden up like a bird. Up like a bird. Out wide it comes. Downfield, over the head of Bradbury. Dipper Domenico almost took a good one, crawls after it, one-hander, out to Mew, that was bad. Van der Haaf thumps it straight to Bradbury. Bradbury steadies and sends it to Bahagia. Bahagia in trouble and fumbles it very badly. Picked up there by O'Halloran. O'Halloran, good pass to Wallace. Wallace steadies and boots them into forward line again.
All Hawthorn. It spills to Langford. He gets clear, drives for goal. It's just missing. The breeze taking it away. Oh, it's a goal! Well, I couldn't see it from here.
It did look a bit dubious.
Up they go again. Madden, Green, ooh, took it away beautifully. Left puts it downfield. Langford, great mark. That was splendidly done. After kicking a long goal that must have just squeezed through by a coat of paint. But that was a very, very strong mark by Langford. Well, let's see if Chris Langford can kick this one, which is a much easier one. He's about 45 metres out. Directly in front. Fine kick. Off direction this time.
Yes, Hawthorn really peppering the goals at the moment, and Essendon don't seem to be able to get the ball out of their defensive zone.
Madden, not that time. Di Domenico ducks through a million tackles, gets it to Kennedy, great play. Wallace is burning in this quarter, gets clear. Judge, he's in trouble, loses it. Matthews loses it. Play on rules the umpire. Bradbury goes in and will take a free kick.
It's tough, rough. Bradbury downfield, Madden the target. Watson.
And Watson, not a lot of distance, a lot of height. Merritt. All Hawthorn on the ground, but they can't get it clear, and that will be a ball up.
The move of McCarthy onto Madden seems to have been partly successful and certainly cut Madden's dominance around the ground in terms of getting kicks.
Yes, he was the one who did it so well in the grand final, was McCarthy. Out wide it goes. Baker shepherds in his opponent out. Tackled when not in possession. Hand passes out to Nagel. Nagel left foot to the boundary line. Well done. Salmon. Oh, it looked to be going over the white line, but Salmon making great pace. Slithered down to the ground and took it just about 3 or 4 feet above the turf. Well, this young man takes his 6th mark. He really is someone we're going to see a lot of and get a lot of enjoyment out of because he's an exciting footballer. He's going to kick for goal. Awkward, wobbly looking punt, but my word, just missed. Well, that was really one of the old-fashioned flat punts, but just missed.
Good play by Nagel then to make position, take the handball and get it quickly across to Salmon.
Essendon by 4 points. The spoil came from behind by Hurd, but he was into Judge's back. Free kick to Ken Judge. From half-back flank. Good penetration. Kennedy leads. Almost dragged it in. Still with John Kennedy. Inboard to Lee Matthews. Well up the ground. Down to the forward pocket. Bradbury. Support by Duckworth, who shows strength and a bit of pace. Duckworth over the centre wing. Merritt well placed. Ayres spoils. Oh, Vanderhaar fumbles. Ayres follows up. On to Judge. Short pass for Langford. And Langford's had 3 clear possessions in the last 2 minutes.
This is worrying Western. He's a long kick too, is Chris Langford.
He's played a bit of wing Langford. He's quite a quick player, and I think this is probably troubling Western.
Look at that kick. Oh, look at that kick. It's a beautiful kick.
Madden to Danaher. Long kick by Terry Danaher. 1-on-1. Salmon at the back. Burn spoils. Salmon good skills. Can't control it eventually. Schwab out of defence. Polkinghorne leads Ezard. Ooh, Ezard crash. Out he goes. Inboard it comes. Chance for Hawker, who paddles it beautifully. Baker. Salmon down there again, but this time it's not his. Too much support for Byrne.
It's a lovely kick. Out to Dipper Domenico. Good spoil, Nagel. Well played, Dipper. Over the back it went, and that was a wonderful contest. See the speed of Ezard there, gathering in Polkinghorne. O'Halloran in front position. Merritt, I think. Wallace ahead, pass to Dipper Domenico, misses it. Vanderhaar, lucky to get out of it. Nagel fights well, threw it out, I thought. Danaher fights for it. The umpire's really letting it go. Wallace gets his kick underneath it. Oh, great play, Brereton. Wonderful anticipation.
Dermot Brereton, who resigned from the VFL yesterday to take up full-time football to try and shake off a groin injury. John Kennedy around to Brereton. Has a chance to go for goal and kick it himself. Good kick.
"18 minutes into the third term. There's 8 points the difference. The Hawks in front and the Bombers go into attack from Watson. Out wide it goes and well played. Eden goes bolting away. At centre wing he drives down to the flank. Western having a bad quarter. Out wide it goes to Kennedy. Kennedy now on the half-forward flank. Centres it beautifully. Matthews.
Once again, the value of a centre.
Yes, centred it beautifully. And Kennedy has become a very complete player. Unobtrusive, but really one of those players never making mistakes. Lee Matthews has kicked 2. Hooks it. Almost came back for Lee, but through for 1 behind.
Yes, Kennedy in 2 or 3 instances has shown tremendous poise, just holding the ball back to exactly the right moment.
Here's a bit of trouble for Essendon. Free kick to Wallace.
A very poor kickoff.
Right, he's had a great quarter, Terry Wallace. Ordinary first half, and he's really pumped the ball forward for Hawthorn many times in his usual fashion in this quarter, which has been going only 19 minutes. That kick's not bad, but the breeze takes it away to the right. Throw in the forward pocket. Hawthorn in attack. Another whistle. Essendon free kick. Madden to Carey. Bit of trouble for him. Oh, bad hand pass. Intercepted Wallace. Inboard. Could be a goal to Matthews, but he centres the ball. Dipia Domenico's there. Punch away. Goes to Hurd, and they're out of trouble, but only just. Nagel beats the dive of Judge. Up towards the centre of the ground for Danaher. They could turn defence into a goal. Danaher pops it up towards Baker. And now they're moving forward, the Bombers. Oh, he slowed it up then. Not good penetration. Salmon! Oh, he's an absolute star in the making, Paul Salmon. Kicked 3 goals in the first half. Actually, his tally is 3 goals, 3. And he's proved a real headache for Hawthorn's defence. Badly needed goal, this one for Essendon. Trailed by 3 goals. 7 minutes into the last quarter. Salmon hasn't let them down.
Once again, he led enormously well, Salmon.
It's Simon Madden now, who's dominated the ruck duels 23 times as he had a hit out, and that's the 24th, taken by Wallace. Out wide it goes, and Bradbury should come through, which he does. Pass Green. Green buffets into his opponent there, and the free kick will go to Ezard. Oh, Walsh in trouble. Out wide it goes, and puffing with it is Foulds. Foulds sends a long one looking for Salmon. Oh, a beauty! Mark number 8 into Bahaja. Bahaja kicks for goal and hit the post. What beautiful football by Salmon as he took his 8th mark, a lightning hand pass, and Bahaja missed what he should have got.
It was magnificent football by Salmon. Bahaja's now been run down twice, shooting into an open goal.
Ayres kicks in. Nagel. Good spoil by Dipia Domenico. Nagel again. Long kick for goal. It might carry. Salmon's there. Goes through from behind.
Very obvious there, a comment we made earlier, that Hawthorn are basically using 2 players on Salmon. They're using Bird to try and get him in front of him, and Ayres coming in over the back to try and interfere or punch the ball away.
Madden once again's got the chance in front of McCarthy, playing well. Donnell a long left footer, and Salmon as usual the target. Up he goes. He is magnificent. He is a beauty, and the Essendon stand have got a new hero, and it's almost Coleman-esque.
This is the sort of thing that could get Essendon players going down the ground. They've got someone to kick to. All they have to do is get the ball down there, and they're a good chance to win this game.
Paul Salmon. He's kicked 4 goals. He's taken 8 spectacular marks. The angle is a little bit acute. The distance only about 15 metres. Well done.
In the centre of the ground, Madden wins again, palming to Williams. Gets it to Donnell. Salmon. Not this time. And the combined efforts of Mew and Byrne beat him. Mew takes the mark, plays out wide to Eade, pops it over the top to Polkinghorne. Hawthorn looking great now, running with the ball in grand final style. Green's kick. Matthews is there with strength. Carey spoils. Walsh in front for Essendon. Slow, too slow, holding the ball. Matthews the tackler.
Well, Kevin Sheedy's got great faith in Walsh, but a lot of others haven't, and that wasn't good. He ran straight into Matthews, and Matthews loved it. Now he'll kick for goal, will Lee. Won't quite make the distance. Big pack fly for it. And there they go. It comes off the pack and goes through for one behind.
It's not a mistake, really, that Walsh was caught. The Essendon backs tend to try and run through and break tackles, and as opposed to Hawthorn players who will try and give the ball off quickly, that consequently has led to a couple of kicks in front of goals for holding the ball.
Duckworth straight up the ground, looking for Carey. Danaher there as well. Danaher and Mew, a contested mark, no mark paid. It goes to Wallace. Matthews, caught by Williams. Langford a good hand pass to Green. Out wide, Dipper unmarked. Over the top to Kennedy. Goal coming up. Well played, Hawthorn.
Madden beaten this time. Here comes Green again. He's a wonderful player. On to Brereton, shoots for goal, sends it long and sends it just off direction, one behind. Well, when they swing into attack, they look so impressive with their dazzling teamwork, do the Hawks.
Suddenly, Essendon appear to have lost a bit of momentum.
To look at that paper down there, you'd swear it was favouring that end, wouldn't you? Duckworth. Comes to the back. O'Halloran taps cleverly to Eade. Back go the Hawks. Brereton unmarked.
What a bad day's Bradbury had.
He's had a terrible day on Brereton, who's been outstanding. A couple of times in this quarter already, we've found Brereton dropping back and Bradbury being caught underneath the ball. And in both cases, it's led to a shot for goal.
He's got it this time.
Well, Hawthorn have answered the challenge. And there's 17 minutes gone in the final term as Simon Madden goes with McCarthy. McCarthy did it well. Merritt never looked like it. Picked up there by Wallace. Out to the brilliant Kennedy. On to Brereton. Brereton will now with his left foot shoot for goal and rams it. Oh, what brilliant football he got. Oh, magnificent goal. Well, you can't do much better than that.
Well, after Essendon got within 4 points, Hawthorn have kicked the last 4 goals. Out of the middle, Bahagia. Danaher. Well, he needs to bang this through from right in front and 45 to 50 metres out. Get back to the centre and hope that Essendon can whip it out of the centre again a few more times. 17 and a half minutes gone in the last quarter. Oh, shocker. Well left and short. Salmon almost a chance, still a chance. Smothered by O'Halloran. No, it's not out of there yet. Ayres for Hawthorn marks.
And once again, Green got it out of danger. He's a very, very inconspicuous but wonderful player. Ayres comes, sends it long downfield. Judge underneath it. Hurd spoils him. Foles chases it. Gets out, doesn't do much with his kick. From behind, Merritt's got a great chance. Took it well, actually. Now that was rough, Michael, wasn't it?
Yes, it was in the rough. He certainly didn't use any hands. He's about to lose it, I suspect. No. He certainly didn't use his hands, Merritt, and just used his body weight. But could be interpreted as a bump out when the ball's outside 5 yards. And I think that's probably what umpire Cameron decided.
Yes, I think you're right on that, the outside 5 yards, but it was pretty tough. Out wide, Matthews beats Carey so easily. Sometimes you can almost forget the extraordinary skills of number 3. You look at that blocky body and you forget how good that he is. He's just, not that you forget how good he is, but what an extraordinary skill he's got. Lee Matthews. Oh, Lee, what are you doing to me? And here comes McCarthy. Across it goes. Wallace will shoot for goal. And Wallace kicks it right to the 10-metre square. Simon Madden, the big leaper. And over the back it goes, and I think it's 3 for 1 behind.
It's your impersonation of a cricket commentator there, Doug.
It's a grubber.
So how well he's batting and suddenly back.
Essendon need more than 4 goals to win it. Williams, half-back flank. Shepherding by Hawker was a bit high, but he gets away with it. Danaher at half-forward. Good mark in front of Mew.
Danaher's really lifted here. He is aware the game's at stake, and he's taken 3 or 4 excellent marks in this quarter, but not sure it's going to be enough. Merritt certainly has dropped out of the game.
And he's kicking the ball like Kelvin Templeton. Danaher, he just can't kick at all.
So I think it's into the breeze there a bit, but it doesn't look good. Here comes Salmon. Oh, well played, Byrne. First time that he's beaten him man for man. 6'7.5" of big Michael Byrne, so he's certainly got the height to do it. But you need more than height to combat the skills of young Paul Salmon. Byrne now left foot hugging the boundary line. Tuck comes in to do battle. Donnell hits it over the line. And it'll be thrown in.
20 minutes gone last quarter. And Hawthorn leading by 4 goals. To the back, Green. Up to centre half forward. Langford's there with Walsh. Off hands to Brereton. Paddled by Brereton to Matthews, who shrugs off a tackle with strength. Tipia Domenico's got plenty of that too. Bahagia. Watson. A couple of times today he hasn't taken it at the first bite. Up the ground to Baker. Williams too high for him. Plays on. Snaps for goal. Good kick. A badly needed goal for Essendon.
McCarthy doing battle with Simon Madden. Madden over towards Danaher. Danaher does it nicely to tackle him. Nagel comes through with great strength that time. Runs a long way. Sends a very long kick. Well played, Mervyn Nagel. That was spectacular.
Nagel's certainly been one of their better players in the second half. Fairly ordinary first half, but really lifted his game, and he's been one of the few Essendon players to really compete. Here we see the ball coming out. Nagel breaks the tackle, runs with it, as all the Essendon players appear to like to do, and lets go a very nice kick. Nicely shepherded through by Salmon too.
Madden at the second attempt to Bradbury. Another ball up. Throw a blanket over 30 players. Bahagia slips it to Williams somehow. Good kick. Salmon's there with Byrne. Byrne well placed. Oh, Salmon! What a great mark that was.
I'd like to see that on replay, but it certainly was an amazing mark. I think Byrne felt he had it.
That's one of the marks of the year, I suggest.
It'll be interesting to see whether he caught it straight out or whether he took it out. So the replay will be interesting here.
Paul Salmon has kicked 5 goals. He's coming up for goal number 6. Not a bad start to the season. 13 in 2 rounds. And he's a good kick as well as a good mark.
Back at centre bounce again at the 30-minute mark. And they come. Great punch by Eade, straight to Hurd. Hurd down where Danaher comes in with a big leap. In front was Polkinghorn, very strong. Bahagia out wide. Caught was Baker, and very slow getting rid of it, I thought. Lucky to get away with the bounce from the umpire.
29 minutes on the clock. 13 points the difference. Bahagia in with a chance. Taken away by Green again. Loses it. Ayres off the ground. Merritt. Bradbury gives him a lead. Merritt doubles up again. Hurd. Cornered. Shoots for goal. Salmon's there again. He's got to be a chance. Off hands. Oh, it's touched off the boot. It was Ezard's kick for goal.
But unlucky then, Salmon. He chose to go to the other side, and he would have done well to stay where he was. There's the way the ball bent.
It's now 2 straight kicks the difference.
Out wide where Kennedy in front position, but even in front of Kennedy was Eade that time. And Eade, very solid player, interstate player. Sends downfield. Chance there for Carey. Brereton is punched away from him. Madden battles for it, so does Kennedy. Bahagia runs into a Schwab tackle. Donnell kicks it high. Underneath it now is Merritt, and a good mark. Roger Merritt sends it downfield, and here comes Salmon. And on the siren, Paul Salmon takes his 12th mark for the match. And it's been a spectacular exhibition of football by this youngster. He's kicked 6 goals, 7 for the season. The scoreboard shows Essendon 15-14 to Hawthorn 17-14. So this kick of Paul Salmon's is of statistical interest only. 2 goals the difference, so Hawthorn are the winners. But Salmon has been absolutely magnificent on the forward line for Essendon. He's about 50 metres out from goal. And he's done it again.
Essendon led by 10 points at half-time, but Hawthorn had a great third quarter to lead by 20 points at the last change, and they withstood the pressure from Essendon late in the game to win it by one straight kick. Langford 4 goals, Brereton 4, Matthews and Curran 2 apiece. For Essendon, Salmon kicked 7 goals for the second week in a row, and Terry Danaher kicked 2. Well, Hawthorn got the points, but there were moments when it looked like Essendon would avenge the grand final loss. The Hawks have made a good start in their quest to defend their premiership. Well, the man at the helm again is Lee Matthews, into his 16th season in VFL football. The match against Essendon was his 297th, and like so many, there was the satisfaction of victory.
A bit different from the grand final last year. It was a close one.
Yes, it was always going to be. I don't know about close, but it was certainly going to be different from the grand final, whether we won or lost. I mean, the grand final was just one of those matches, and it's last year now, and it's dead and buried to some degree, except it's a nice memory. And I suppose as soon as we looked at the draw and saw we were playing Essendon at Windy Hill second round, you'd say, well, that's going to be a hard match to win, and it certainly was. So very pleased to get the 4 points.
How's the preparation for a game like this? You'd be aware that Essendon would be running through brick walls to play today.
Well, yes, I suppose, but we didn't have any different preparation. I mean, the matches are going to be tough each week. I mean, I suppose you can always say Essendon at Essendon, Collingwood at Collingwood, Geelong at Geelong are some of the more tougher ones on paper, but yet the preparation's the same. I mean, you've got 22 consecutive weeks, so you can't be making every one of those different. You've just sort of got to try and get yourself and the team up the best you can each week.
At least they didn't kick 10 goals at the start of the game like they did here last year.
Yes, well, that was the opposite, of course. They got away in that quarter, so we were... Yeah, it was a tight match all day, I suppose. I mean, they had the break early, and maybe they looked like they were in control, but we had a terrific third quarter, and that sort of got us the break.
What's your role going to be? Same old stuff? You're going to have to stay down on the forward line, or can we ever see you on the ball again?
Well, I'd like to run on the ball, but my legs don't seem to be too keen. I've got a persistent hamstring sort of problem that I've had for 3 or 4 years, and it flared again last week against the Swans, so I can sort of play up forward with it, but I'm not too good to sort of have to run around the ground too much. It's frustrating because you always like to be sort of 120% fit when you go onto the ground, but still, you're fit enough to play, so you play.
Well, if you can snap a few of those goals like you did today, you'll do us. What do you think about the big fella at the other end of the ground, Salmon?
I suppose you could say, wish we had him. He's going to be an impressive player. I mean, at 19 years old and 6'9", and he's strong in the body and a great pair of hands as well. I mean, he's going to be almost an unbeatable weapon, you would think. I mean, the tallest man in our side was, of course, Michael Byrne, and he was just outreaching Michael. I mean, he's going to be a tremendous problem for any side, really, in this kind of form. Maybe in the wet conditions he might be found out a little bit when the ball's slippery, but gee, he's such a strong mark and so tall. He looks like being a great player when he really matures, doesn't he?
The Hawks haven't been a great club for backing up the year after a premiership so far. Can you this year?
Well, as I said, we can, but whether we will, there's a long, long way off before we'll know. It's just good to play 2 matches and to get two wins up, because and that's what you've got to do. You've got to accumulate enough wins to get in the 5, and then you've got a chance at having a go at the premiership. So it's 2 matches for 2 wins, so that's really pleasing.
Hawthorn captain Lee Matthews. Our second replay is the game at VFL Park between 2 first-round winners, Geelong and Footscray. The Cats, or as I think they prefer to be called now, the Wildcats, had surprised most people last week when they beat last year's finalists, Fitzroy. Mark Jackson kicked 9 goals, and the former Richmond, Melbourne and St Kilda firebrand is already reviving the cult following he once had before his early season parting of the ways with St Kilda last season. Well, in the light of that, it was somewhat disappointing that only 24,000 took the trip to Waverley for a game which promised good entertainment. High hopes were held by Footscray after finishing 7th last year and winning well against Richmond last week. We joined the game 15 minutes after the start with commentators Graham Dawson, Jeff Leake and Don Hyde.
Deliberately putting the ball out of bounds. Royal takes the free for the Bulldogs. Mossop dropping back. Edmund there flying high. It'll be a free kick for the big Geelong ruckman, who's effectively dropping back and playing as a spare man on that last line of defence to nullify those Bulldog forward moves. This is John Mossop with Beasley on the mark. Into the centre of the ground. The target is Reynoldson, but Edwards is there in front, and he takes the mark. Goes for the quick hand pass to Kellett running down the ground. He gives it over quickly, but Bright intercepts with good play. Terry Bright runs his full measure, spears the ball back in towards the centre of the ground. The bounce doesn't quite favour Tui.
Neil caught his hand pass, is smothered. It comes back to Peake, who's prominent. Off the left boot out to Bruns at half forward. He's got too much pace. Dropped the mark. Egan follows up well for Footscray to recover and capitalise on that Geelong mistake. O'Keefe, who's also been prominent for the Cats, controls the ball well. He wanted to kick with his left boot. Now he comes back onto the right, looks for Reynolds at centre half back. And the big fellow takes the mark. Hand passes to Mossop. Mossop kicks towards half forward. Johnston is the target, spoilt by Kellett. Turner to run at it. McLean is outpointing him so far. There's a good hand pass from Neon to Terry Bright. He's got a bit of room to move. Jackson coming at it. Peake there. Peake read it well, running with the flight of the football. An unselfish play by Jackson because there could have been a nasty collision by the Geelong teammates. Jackson left it for Peake, who had it under control. And Brian Peake, kick number 5 in this first term. Within scoring range, 45 metres out from goal on a slight angle. He's put it right through the centre. Beautiful kick by Peake. That's Geelong's third goal.
Brilliant play by the brilliant Brian Peake to kick Geelong's third goal. That's a nice bounce to the umps. Mossop with perfect timing. Too long for Neil, coming through as Bruns, up and over Edmund. Batted out. That's new boy Williams in the back there of Steve McPherson. And Footscray take the kick from centre field. Now Beasley's giving him a lead. Beasley's having to come a long way out of goal. He's frustrated already. Yates had it knocked away from him. A chance now for Stephen Lunn. Oh. Really caught. Really caught. It was Brian Royal, actually, not Lunn. This is Tui. Tui had chipped quickly towards Williams. Gets a long call from Bruns. Threw it away, pulled to the ground. Footscray in control now through Burton. Burton's kicked Beasley with 2 against him again. Mossop spilled it. A chance for Ray Byrne. Has not put a foot wrong on that back line for Geelong. And Percival mark.
Purser, the big Footscray ruckman, having a great battle today with John Mossop, getting the ball moving quickly across to Wallace. Wallace kicks it forward, but the ball has got to come back. And the player who originally had possession, Purser, Andrew Purser, will take his kick and kick over his mark. The 18-minute point in quarter number 1 and a 17-point advantage to the Geelong side over the Footscray Bulldogs. And Purser on the centre wing initiating another Footscray attack, and he gets it across to Burton, who's been pretty good. But that kick is awry off the side of his boot, and an easy mark taken down here by Jimmy Sewell. Luckily, I guess, for Footscray. And downfield, Beasley leading then, but the kick not delivered well to him. And it's Geelong defence standing firm again, and there's the target. Peake, he's got it, moves it on quickly to Jackson. A 2-hour duel with Hanson. He pushes Hanson out slightly, then he gets clear. Almost gets pulled around the neck. Jackson kicks it in spectacular fashion, and it really deserved a goal. But 1 point to Jacko. That's his second point. And the Cats now 3-2-20. And Jackson a little bit frustrated there. Footscray 2 points, yet to score a major.
Sewell kicks the ball in. Hanson runs to the grandstand side, and the ball is kicked wide to the outer side. Wallace the target. Bounce is good for him. Back to Brian Cordy. Kick well smothered by Williams. Bounces for Byrne. There is Wallace, whose kick is smothered again. McLean, he's covered plenty of territory. Puts Scratcher Neal under a bit of pressure. Brian Cordy with the opportunity to tidy up for Footscray. Kicks hurriedly. And it's all Geelong. And it's marked by O'Keefe, who's been a fine player. On to Turner, the Geelong skipper. Ignores a lead from Brighton, goes long. Johnston the target. Interferes with Scott. Taken by Kellett at centre half-back. A free kick for Kellett at centre half-back. Footscray, Johnson right into his back. Kellett running off. Takes the ball towards the centre of the ground. No one within the cue of him. Gets crashed down after he kicks the ball. Very untidy play by Geelong there. The culprit was not Reid, but number 11, Williams. And there's a bad mistake made downfield by Royal. That's Reid tidying up. Kicks in for Johnson, who's going to get a free kick for one over the shoulder. Gets it out to Turner. He kicks it quickly and finds Bright at centre half forward. Geelong getting the breaks in this first term and certainly capitalising them. Long kick by Bright is going to be a goal. No worries about that. That's the fourth for the Cats, and Terry Bright's first. 4 goals, 1-25 Geelong. Footscray 2 behind, 2 points. Now it's 4-2, so the Cats lead by 4 straight goals. 21 minutes into this first quarter.
Start of the second quarter at the VFL headquarters. Geelong at 27 to Footscray's 3. Geelong had a much better quarter, even though they were kicking against the breeze. Mossop dominated the ruck then nicely. This is Burton. He's played well in the middle there for Footscray. Lovely pick up there, but he did take his eyes off it then. Geelong's turn to kick with the breeze. A short one in there to Johnson, and Johnson's marked 30 metres from goal. Kicked one in the first quarter. Terry Bright kicked one, as did Brian Peake and Robert Neal. This is his 4th kick. He's not an accurate kick, Johnson, but that one dropped short. Jackson and Hanson. Brian Peake, number 7. Picked up by Kelp. Can't get away from strong tackling to Peake. There it is, so that's a giveaway, if you like. And Peake, quite an accurate shot for goal. Having a good match today, playing on the half-forward flank. His opponent is Brian Cordy, who's a top player for Footscray. Peake coming in now for his 9th kick and his 2nd goal, which will be Geelong's 5th. And the result is first goal for the quarter at the 1 minute mark to Brian Peake.
A 5-goal advantage to Geelong, who have played so well, and Footscray, who have played undisciplined football, with no zipper enthusiasm so far. And Mossop winning again, gets it to the half-forward line. Rescued here for Footscray by McPherson. His kick is smothered. Neal is there, using his weight well. Pick up here by Williams, the Geelong centre player. His hand pass is not good. Footscray defending grimly here. The ball out towards Sewell on the centre wing. Tackle when not a possession, should get the free. The umpire not paying it, and it's out of bounds on the half-forward line for the Geelong side. Early in the second quarter, only 2 minutes gone, and Geelong well on top, an advantage of 5 goals over the Bulldogs. And a bit of jostling in the ruck there, and the infringement against Mossop. It'll be taken by Purser. And the possession by Purser as Footscray comes into attack. Another ragged forward move, and easily knocked away and over the boundary line on the centre wing.
Not much method in Footscray's forward move so far today. They're trailing by 30 points, 3 minutes into the second term. Mossop and Purser knocked forward by Scratcher Neal, only as far as McPherson, been outpointed clearly by Byrne. There's Hawkins, who's been quiet for Footscray. He gets the ball across to Burton, who's been prominent. Beasley the target. This time he's only got one to beat. He'll get the ball down quickly. It gives him a chance. Good kick to position by Burton. And Beasley has the ball 40 metres out from goal, directly in front. And if ever the Bulldogs need their champion Spearhead to give them a lift, it's right now. They haven't posted a goal in the game so far. They have now. Beautiful kick by Beasley. That's his first and Footscray's first.
Centre bounce. Footscray kicked their first goal at the 3.5 minute mark, second term. It was Simon Beasley with a 60-metre beautiful shot. Terry Bright, useful. Scratcher Neal likewise. Bit of hanky-panky going on there, but Geelong into attack to Peake. Too good for Cordy. He's tidying Cordy up. A move will be on here shortly. Peake with a lot of brilliance today. This is his 10th kick. He's kicked 2 goals so far. One at the 1 minute mark in this quarter, which is 3 minutes ago. He's about 55 metres out. Beautiful kicking style. Just touch and go to make the distance. He has made the distance. 3 goals to Brian Peake. He's a star on the Geelong side. No doubt about that.
Back at the centre circle again, 5 minutes into the second quarter, and a 5-goal advantage to Geelong over a lethargic Footscray. Mossop knocking it down, opportunity for Bruns, but the ball is kicked back towards the Footscray half-forward line. An easy mark here taken by Malcolm Reid, who furnishes the ball well to the half-forward line, looking for Turner. McLean is there to bustle him again, but Turner, with his greater experience, breaks clear. Left foot kick and puts Geelong into a good attacking position again. A ball knocked away down there from Jackson, and Footscray playing with a little more desire and get up and go as it's socket off the ground, but there's no one there in position on the Footscray forward line. Reid it is who casually takes the ball away, gives it across to Mark Yates. Yates putting it back to the Footscray forward line. Peake is there again, gets it across cleverly to Bright. Bright into an open goal. Magnificent football by Peake again, and setting up the second goal for Terry Bright. And Geelong looking great in the second quarter as they go to 7-3-45 and Footscray 1-3-9.
Greg Williams gets it onto Whitcomb. Jackson from behind Hansen, and Hansen's able to take the mark at the second attempt.
That's his game, Hansen. He's a mark. He's a very slow player. He's lucky that Jackson's as well. Here's Kellett, their half-back, and he puts a long kick into the centre of the field at Wallace and also Toohey. Mossop doing well playing behind the game. Kick behind. Reed. Ray Byrne, a star. Jackson and Hansen. And chipping in is Terry Bright. And headbutts his way past Egan and goals. Great stuff for his third goal. A lot of courage shown from Terry Bright.
A 40-point advantage to Geelong, who have played so well. 24 minutes into the second quarter, knocked down by Mossop and knocked forward by Bolton. And Geelong have the ball in their attacking zone again. And Footscray under pressure once more. Knocked away here by Kellett, back towards Bolton, who's going to get the free kick. Grabbed when not in possession, and a foolish free kick given away there by Footscray, who are showing added frustration in their play in the second quarter, as they did in the first. And further evidence of that with that foolish 15-metre penalty being given away. Only the third kick by Bolton in the game. Down towards Jackson, coming in from behind and spoils his teammate there in front. Taken here coolly by Hansen, who puts it back defensively towards the half-back line. Toohey tries to knock it forward. It comes towards Williams. Williams a hand pass to Terry Bright. A danger player playing well on the half-forward line. In towards Jackson again. Hansen in from behind. Around the neck. Jackson should have got the free. Over the line it goes. And Jackson not getting much help from the umpire there in front of goal.
No, you're right, Don.
Both full forwards haven't had much protection at all. Beasley and Jackson so far in the game. Kellett from behind. Young Tadzara spoiled his teammate there. It comes across to Whitcomb. That's not a particularly good place to kick the ball. It's all Footscray. Burton, another possession, out to McLean. Will he use his pace? Look at him go. My word, he's quick. Draws Byrne, should give it over to Sewell, he does. In comes Toohey, look out. Sewell gets around Toohey, but gets it back only as far as the Geelong skipper Turner, and that's good play by Toohey. Scratch O'Neill, fit and firing, giving the Cats a lot of bite. Jackson, Hansen getting on top of him, but Jackson fights on pretty well. Brian Cordy showing great determination for Footscray, will get a free kick in the last line of defence. Geelong well in control, lead by 40 points at the 26.5-minute mark of the second term. Eighth kick for Brian Cordy.
He's being moved right down the field. He's kicking that centre half back. Gives it everything he has. Down towards Person, the tall ruckman. Mossop punches it away from him. Whitcomb. Hansen. Good effort from the big fellow to mark it at grass level. He'll go back and gives it to his co-defender in Egan, who swings play across the other side to Hawkins. Doug Hawkins is out-pointed here by Williams this time. Clever play by Williams, a short fellow with a lot of balance. Johnson lost possession, unfortunately, then tries to fiddle with it. Back to Whitcomb at centre-half forward, up to Jackson. Jackson and Bruns with his back towards it. Jacko, can he do something? He's wheeled around, has another long shot. It's fading over into the dead pocket. Peake and Cordy. And Peake sees it over the line.
Fancied his chances for a moment, I think, then Brian Peake. He could have got the run of the football.
Well, there's Jacko coming in to convert on this opportunity. Takes it out of there. Quick kick. That's a good shot. That's a great goal by Jackson. Great intelligent play by Mark Jackson.
2 goals, 3 for Jackson. Geelong's tally of 10-3. They certainly have a good grip on this game. 46 points in front, almost on half-time. Mossop dominating in the ruck. Turner playing much more disciplined football. Egan in the road for Footscray. Drops a sitter. Bruns only gets it out as far as Kellett, who's under pressure from Bright. Couldn't make the tackle. And Turner coming right across onto the members' wing. He's playing on the outer side of the ground. So continuing to run. Mossop again. Young Bolton paddles the ball forward. Burton has yet another kick for Footscray. Sewell the target, too tall for Byrne. Down to Dunn. Look at this. Reed all on his own across the half-back line, but the bounce eludes him. Beasley with no one in support. Boz follows up. In comes Waters for Footscray. Well played by Boz to smother the ball. And umpire Robinson will bounce it centre-half forward for Footscray.
Well, Geelong have had a 6-goal quarter and Footscray have managed 2. It's their only goal-scoring quarter, the second. Had a diabolical first, the starter. Whitcomb to the outstretched arms of Bolton. Bolton strides across the centre. Looks for a lead from Jackson. He's in front of Hanson, and he's got it. And Selfie plays on. Oh, he kicked at the Brunson. Peake into an open goal. A fresh air shot. Missed. And it's a behind to the brilliant Peake. So Peake has kicked 3 goals away.
Interesting to see Jackson not take his time and have a shot there, Jeff. Perhaps he could have been able to make it.
I felt he could have too, Smokey.
Ball back in play again from the fullback line for the Footscray side. Up is Purser. He's dropped out of the game somewhat. A hand pass from him upfield. And it's Footscray coming down the ground and into attack. Let's see if they can convert this opportunity downfield. And it's a pretty good effort here by Beasley, who really is playing a lone hand. Good play by young Tessaras then to get the ball down to him. Well, it's his 4th mark for the match, and this will be his 6th kick. Just before half-time, he's already kicked 2, and Footscray needing this goal desperately, and obviously, as they're down 64-17 at the moment, so a crucial kick for Simon Beasley. 45 metres out, plenty of distance. Has he got the accuracy? And he's put it through. Good effort to Beasley. 3 goals to him, and Footscray a little closer at half-time.
But the Cats won it by 40 points. They led by 4 goals at quarter-time, 41 points at half-time, and ran out comfortable winners. Bright and Jackson each kicked 4 goals, and Peake kicked 3. For Footscray, Beasley kicked 8 of their 9 goals. In fact, the first 8 goals for Footscray. It was almost like an opening batsman carrying his bat. It was a one-man show, but not on the winning team. Now to the results of the other games, and Carlton defeated Fitzroy. The Blues led by 6 goals at quarter-time, but held on to beat a fast-finishing Fitzroy by only 10 points. For Carlton, Ralph kicked 6 goals, Justin Madden 3, 2 apiece to Murphy, McClure and Buckley, and for Fitzroy, Quinlan and Conlon each kicked 4 goals and Roos kicked 2. Justin Madden was reported for allegedly headbutting, and for Carlton, Montgomery was also reported. Collingwood defeated St Kilda by 93 points. They led by 43 at half-time and went right away. St Kilda very disappointing with only 7 goals 14. For Collingwood, Beers 4 goals, Barham and Williams each 3, and for St Kilda, Lockett kicked 3 goals. 2 more reports from this game. The champion, Peter Dacos, reported, as was Burns of St Kilda. And to the final game, where Richmond defeated North Melbourne by 14 points. Scores level at half-time, level at three-quarter time, and Richmond went away in the last quarter to win it by 14 points. For the Tigers, Taylor kicked 6 goals and Roach kicked 3. For North, Bryant and Phil Cracker each 3, Jim Cracker and Fury each 2. 2 more players from this game reported. Brian Taylor of Richmond reported on 2 separate charges of dissent, and Demetrio of North Melbourne was also reported. And the round was completed this afternoon when the Sydney Swans played their first home game of the season against Melbourne. And the Swans won their first game of the season by 14 points against Melbourne. They led by 34 points at quarter time and withstood a big finish by Melbourne. The Demons got within 10 points in the last quarter, but the Swans steadied and won by 14 points. Rhys Jones kicked 5 goals. Brady, Evans and Hounsell each kicked 2. And for Melbourne, Flower, Johnson and Cordner each kicked 3 goals. And so the league ladder now at the completion of the first 2 rounds. On top, Carlton with their big percentage. And then Collingwood in second place. And 4 teams have won both games. Behind them, Geelong and Hawthorn. In the 5-on percentage, Essendon with 1 win and a loss, but a better percentage. Outside the 5, Footscray, then Richmond. The Swans move up into 8th place ahead of Melbourne. Fitzroy 10th, St Kilda 11th, and North Melbourne, who won the minor premiership last year, on the bottom. Leading goal kickers, Beasley has 19 after 8 yesterday, Ralph 6 yesterday for 15, Salmon 7 for 14, Jackson 4 for 13, David Rhys-Jones today kicked 5 for a total of 11 in 2 rounds, Lockett kicked 3 for a total of 10, and Bernie Quinlan 4, also for a total of 10 goals for the season. And now more highlights of our 2 games.
There's long downfield. In front, Curran. Oh, excellent mark. Between centre wing, almost back to half-back Frank is Dermot Brereton. Sends a long one downfield. Madden, lovely leap.
Watson gives him a lead. He goes long. Salmon with Byrne. Salmon again. O'Halloran unmarked. Green going past. O'Halloran goes long. Very long. Curran's there. Bradbury spoils. Matthews hardly been in the game, but he doesn't need to. He gets a kick for goal, but just off. It's a goal. Salmon wins this tap. Intercepted by Schwab. Smothered by Danaher. It goes straight to Izzard, who goals. Oh, terrific football. From the wing to centre half forward. Van der Haar flies at the back. Off hands to Tuck. Hurried left footer. High, not a lot of distance. All Hawthorn there, though. Di Domenico and Knights. Matthews, great snap. Second goal by Lee Matthews.
In a flash, it's out to Di Domenico. Bounces over Knight's head. Duckworth, Knights again. Hooks it to open territory, and Carey goes crashing after it. So does Judge. Judge kicks a goal. Salmon on the ball. Don't know how they can afford to keep him away from full forward. Brereton well done again. Oh, Curran, a sensational mark.
Support by Merritt, who shepherds Byrne off beautifully. Watson's kick to the forward pocket. Salmon!
Danaher gives the lead. Merritt ignores it. Kicks it long over his head, looking for Salmon. Oh, over the top. Madden, a beautiful mark. Watson kicking to the grandstand end. Salmon the target. 2-1 against him. Danaher well done. Great hand pass to the budgie. Bahagia will kick and caught. What a good tackle by Mew, and then a flying shot for goal from from Williams.
Long way out from goal, picks it up well for a big man, and there's a good shot if he can put it through from there. Terry Bright's lurking in the goal square, and that's a good mark to Terry Bright.
Good play by Lund, gets it down to Burton. Burton's long bomb right to full forward. Oh, that's a fine leap by Reynolson. Jan Katsara showing plenty of pace and endeavour. Oh, he had nowhere to go. That's a fine tackle by Jackson. He gets the free kick in the forward pocket.
Left foot kick by Johnson in towards Jackson, gives him an opportunity. What a great mark to Jackson. That towards Reynolson, knocked away by Hawkins. Taken here by Wallace. Back to Hawkins again, but hot on his tail is Bernard Toohey. Hawkins gets a hand pass out towards McKenna. Right, the ball kicked by Bruns again, down towards Peak. He's the bearded one. Hanson's there, but picked up here by Jackson. He doesn't even see the goals. He hits the back over his head. What a magnificent shot for goal.
With a gentle breeze at their back. So certainly squandering opportunities. Out to Bruns. With plenty of speed, but he's well tackled. Should be penalised and will be. Obviously, it was the one who offended certainly the second time as the long kick by Toohey is a beautiful kick. Jackson the target, he's in front. Good lead. Beautiful kick by Toohey.
The kick's not a good one, though. Over towards the flank. Good play, Ray Byrne. He's had the ball on a string in his first match with a catch. This is O'Keefe for Geelong. A long kick. Where's Jackson? He's popped himself in front of Hanson. Jackson!
And now to our award segment of the week. Essendon lost again to Hawthorn, but the Bombers have an exciting big man in Paul Salmon. The Beanpole was the ruckman in Essendon's Reserves Premiership last year. Well, he's now stamped his class on senior football with 14 goals in 2 weeks, and his marking was a treat. Our mark of the day is for his catch in front of Michael Byrne, running the same way as the ball. Throw a blanket over 30 players. Bahagia slips it to Williams somehow. Good kick. Salmon's there with Byrne. Byrne well placed. Oh, Salmon! What a great mark that was.
I think Byrne felt he had it.
I'm sure you'll hear a lot more of that, lad. Well, now to the play of the day, and we gave it to another Essendon player who was a star on a beaten side. Simon Madden was playing his 200th game and dominated the ruck. Here, the ball is bouncing free. His opponent, Ian Payton, has the better position, but Madden taps away from him and wins possession without assistance.
Which is height against height and well thought out, and Byrne takes a very excellent mark.
Michael Byrne to centre wing, the two ruckmen jostle. Payton and Madden. Well played, Madden. He wins the tap to himself. Great football, Simon Madden. Bouncing at centre half
Great
forward.
skill and turning ability by the big fellow to tap away, change direction quickly, sees that he's the only one going to get the bouncing ball, goes in and gets it. Now to next week's matches. And in round 3, the VFL Park game is Fitzroy and Richmond. Fitzroy desperately looking for a win now. Carlton play Geelong. Essendon meet Collingwood, and that's Collingwood's first game away from home for the season. Melbourne meet Hawthorn. North plays Footscray, and St Kilda plays the Swans. Well, we leave as usual with the goal of the day, and this week it's the robust Hawthorn winger come forward, Chris Langford. He kicked 4 goals, and this one was a gem. And watch for the closer. Plenty of players have been reported this year for disputing a decision. Well, when Footscray defender Chris Hansen disagreed with umpire Neville Nash, there was no report. Maybe the umpire realised that Hansen is a solicitor and he might win the case on Monday night.
Too much height, comes through with great surety, kicks it off the ground, luckily out to Wallace, and Wallace boots downfield, in front Carey, doesn't do it very well. Langford's got the opportunity, Bradbury's there with him, Langford hooks it back, and it's a good-looking kick. It's a freak kick. His 3rd goal for the quarter.
Let's get down to football. Meldrum a bulk across to Johnston.
A shot at goal, a long one, it's a goal! What a beautiful ball by Johnson. Up by Williams.
Now the Cats, they were set to dance a tune. Jacko to scratch a Neil.
Coming up, it is another goal to the Geelong Cats. Driving up there towards
The
Jacko.
dual duel. Jackson taps out, recovers and snaps.
Playing the part of Jackson that time. Outmaneuvered the old fox.
Justin Madden, big boy with an even bigger boot. Look at this kick.
Up to Jacko, it's 2
Desperate in attack, Jacko to Yates.
Off the ground's all he has to do, and through, I think. It's a goal. 7's big lead.
And desperate in defence, Jeffries, great fly to stop a goal.
I think it might have been touched on the line. They're defending very well, this Geelong group down there. That was a good play on the part of Jeffries.
He's hurt too.
He went down and I think he may have run into the goal post when he tried to knock that one out. Of course, he succeeded.
Up by Austin.
The meat in the sandwich, Jimmy Buckley.
Oh, met by 2 of them. Johnson.
Back there towards centre half forward.
Crash go the Blues. Here's Hunter.
Pretty heavily too. He's not up yet. And we see breaking clear is Yates.
The Cats tear away. Jacko taps down for Neil.
Scratch a Neil. 2 goals to Neil. That could be just about the sealer. 18-9, 117 to 13-7, 85.
At Windy Hill, Essendon and Collingwood tested each other out early. Bahagia and Allen.
Flash, and down he goes, holding his ribs. Bradbury, Beers tried to...
Beers and Watson.
Watson drops one high and will be free kick for his endeavour.
But here's the man that the Magpies had to contend with. Let's just pause and watch Paul Salmon in action for a moment.
Holds, who goes high towards full forward. Salmon's got the height. Looking towards the pocket. Salmon out in front. He's an extraordinary footballer, Bob. Wide. Salmon on his own.
So Salmon folds up towards the square. Salmon again. One hand by Salmon. What a wonderful mark. Puts the ball forward. Salmon taps the ball down. Roves to it himself. And brings up goal number 7.
Oh, dear, dear. The young man can do no wrong.
Now to the Demons and the Hawks. Flower shows Devil to nearly steal the game for Melbourne. A great run by the Melbourne skipper. Down goes Green, but on goes Flower. And he goes. Let's have a look at him in action once again. At the other end of the ground, always dangerous in front of goal, Lee Matthews. Robertson this time. A bounce, a goal, and the Hawks back in business once again. Down to Moorabbin. The Swans fly south and do it easy. Evans on to Rhys Jones, and he goals. Frangalis this time combining with Tony Morwood and Mark Browning, who finishes off with a left foot snap. Footscray, North Melbourne, and the Bulldogs run the Roos ragged. Rickman running the boundary line, had a great day across the half-forward line. Williams this time, pushed down by Beasley. Here's Rickman on the move again. As I said, he had a field day in front of goal and across that half-forward line. To Richmond and in Fitzroy. It took the Tigers just 30 seconds to show the Lions who was going to be boss for the day.
And I think he's put it through. He has. A beautiful snap kick. Forward again, up toward the half-forward zone. Jimmy Jess.
Jess off the hands, and a long shot is successful.
Good goal.
And now the combination of Waitman, Lee and Roach in the square.
Lee into the open goal. He stabs it.
Chris Conley of Melbourne.
Mark taken by Chris Conley.
Now Barry Round of the Swans.
Got it.
His teammate Max Cruz coming over the top.
A beautiful mark to Maxie Cruz. A magnificent mark out there on that centre wing position.
All the way then.
Also for the Swans, David Rhys Jones.
Oh, there's a ripper mark to Rhys Jones, and that's Rhys Jones at his best.
And the Demons, Stephen Ick.
Oh, there's a beautiful mark to Stephen Ick, a ripper mark.
Now to yesterday's action. Firstly, Richard Osborne of Fitzroy.
Grant Laurie kicked the
Bernie Quinlan from the Lions camp.
Oh, that is a good mark by Bernie Quinlan.
Out to Windy Hill, Paul Vanderhaar.
Vanderhaar in position to take the mark and does just that.
Simon Madden.
Going goalwards once again. Oh, it's a great fly and a great mark by Madden. It's wide.
And it's Simon Madden again.
Up towards the square.
Paul Salmon had a big day.
One hit by Salmon. What a wonderful mark.
Going up towards
Now Simon Madden again. Collingwood beaten in the air, but here's Mark Beers.
Lovely mark at the back of the pack. The high kick. Simon
Ricky
Madden.
Barham.
Ricky Barham, and a great mark by Ricky Barham.
That flank.
Geelong's Peter Johnson.
There's a chance for Yates.
His teammate Steve Reynolson.
Beautiful mark to Reynolson. Position.
The Blues, Ken
Coming
Hunter.
across his Hunter. That's a great mark by Blackwell.
Steve Reynolson again.
Oh, there's Reynolson over the top of the pack. What a beautiful mark.
Geelong's Michael Turner.
Oh, what a mark to Turner.
Hawthorn and the Demons yesterday now. Colin Robertson. Now Billy Picken of the Swans. Arthur Chilcott, also of the Swans. Simon Beasley of Footscray. Finished the day with 5 goals. His teammate Neil Cordy. To Arden Street still, David Dwyer. And completing our marks yesterday, North Melbourne's Anthony Fury. So, mark of the day, Bob Davis, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm just going to pass over to Jack because he's been writing furiously here. They must have been of a high standard, Jack.
Hi, Joe. There's some great marking in the game out there. Simon Madden, I thought he marked two beautiful marks of Simon Madden, but I think you've got to give it to Salmon now. Going to give it to Reynolson, but none of his good ones appeared there, sort of business. The one right up in the air never appeared, so, but there were good marks at Reynolson. He gave it a great display. But Salmon, I don't like giving him the one-handed marks, but he deliberately does that.
Yes,
so,
right.
So
Got to take one hand, Jack, if they're hanging on to the other one, don't they?
Yeah, well, they do, but he can take a one-handed mark. He did it last week, so I gave it to him for last.
What about you, Kevin?
I thought Salmon's mark was a ripper, but I like Stephen Nicks, the way that he came in last Sunday against the Swans. That was tremendous courage, Bob, to come in, kept his eyes on the ball, one grab, and he actually got up and kicked a goal after that too. Reynolson's marking was good, so was also Salmon's, of course, and Madden's in the game, but I personally liked Dick.
Well, I was keen on Rhys Jones's mark, and also one of Beezy's theirs, and Hunter again going across the face of the pack.
Very dangerous occupation.
Very dangerous business, that, Jack. And of course, Salmon, very good, but I suppose for sheer good strength and mark and everything like that, Stephen Hick's mark against the Swans was outstanding. Was that right? And here we can see him coming across there now, right up, good grip across the ball, and of course Stephen Hick wins the mark of the day.